There's not one parent that I have worked with in the last 30 years that doesn't love their children, doesn't want to nurture their children and doesn't want to protect their children. I'm proud to be a part of this campaign, this Protecting Our Tomorrows, portraits of meningococcal disease. We need to raise the level of awareness of this terrible disease.
Meningococcal disease is a serious bacterial infection that especially affects young children and teenagers in the way of either a blood poisoning or a meningitis, either of which can be life-threatening.
To be able to just create these 15 images, it says everything about who I am as a photographer and why I do what I do. We're starting here in my home country, Australia, which is really great, and then we'll go to Europe and North America. We've got a little 5-year-old girl coming in, Bernadette, and she's the very first one. You look like a fairy in a really pretty dress. So do you think we need to gather a It's more?
I came home one afternoon after work and found her with high fever.
We took her to the hospital the moment we saw the spots on her trunk.
Every hour it got progressively worse.
The reason why children with meningococcal disease are especially at risk of losing fingers, toes, even whole limbs is because for the body to save itself, to rescue itself from this overwhelming poisoning, it has to shut down everything that's in the extremities, in the periphery, to save the heart and the lungs and the brain.
For us, our choice was we lose the limbs or we lose her life.
It's like, how could something that a little person who is that perfect, how could that happen to them?
It's so important to immunise against this disease.
We've got a 9-year-old boy this morning, Mackie. He's got such a beautiful face.
Mackenzie was just over 3.5 when he fell ill. He had flu-like symptoms and was ill, but the differences, I guess, are a sore or stiff neck and any marks on the body, any little dots.
I think he's got a really incredible insight into his condition, and that's why he did the yoga pose. It was a little boy sending a message.
Like, people look at me because they're wondering what happened, and usually they just assume that I've been in a fire or something.
It's a bit of a mixed message that I want to get across, you know, this sense of compassion, but this sense of strength.
It's a really positive experience and made it really quite fun.
She trusted me, yeah. She trusted me to make her look beautiful. We're here in London and spent the day setting up here yesterday for the 6 portraits that I'm doing over the next few days. It's just the most positive series that I've done in the 30 years of photography. Such a privilege. Yeah. Ellie, May and Sophie, the little girls today, are twins. They're 9 years old. Now, Ellie May unfortunately contracted meningococcal disease and her sister's absolutely fine.
We've always said to her it was meningitis, and at the end of the day, if you didn't lose your limbs, we would have lost you. And she's very accepting.
But I'm a mother, and I couldn't imagine this happening to one of my girls. That's it, nice straight ballerina back. Look at these beautiful children. Yes, there's a sense of loss, but they're still beautiful children. We have a little girl this morning, Victoria, who's 5 years old, and she and her family have come here from Spain. My first impressions of Victoria is that she's very, very shy, understandably because she only contracted meningococcal disease just over 6 months ago, so it's very, very raw.
La niña se le empezó a subir la fiebre. De minuto, de media hora, 1 hora, la niña se quedaba.
Yeah, and that looks gorgeous.
Y nada, llamaron al helicóptero para que todo fuera más rápido y al hospital.
And thank goodness for the nest of colourful feathers, which she loved, and it gave her something to focus on. She looked lovely. I'm really pleased with the image. Little Elias is from Germany, and he's 7 years old.
Also seitdem hat sich unser Leben sehr verändert. Wir haben viele Krankenhausaufenthalte Die Amputationen müssen nachgekürzt werden. Die Haut macht ab und zu Probleme.
Im nächsten Monat gehen wir wieder ins Krankenhaus, weil die Knochen weiter wachsen und wieder gekürzt werden müssen in den Stümpfen und die Narben halt korrigiert werden müssen.
He just knew that he was here to be in the photograph to help other children. I feel so strongly about this campaign, and it's really hard not to become emotionally involved. All of these children have definitely got their own message. You can see it in their eyes. Aaron holding the dove and everything that it represents, I think it just really sums up the whole series. It's like he's carrying all of this hope for all of these children who have suffered from this disease and the people who have passed away as well. So he's got broad shoulders. I think he did it really well. Sydney to London and now here in Toronto in the cold. We've got a really nice concept for you today. This morning I'm photographing 25-year-old Jamie, who's come from Texas. She didn't have meningococcal disease until she was 20.
I described myself being like a newborn bird because when I got out of the hospital, 1, I didn't have legs or fingers, 2, I was at 80 pounds, and 3, I lost all my hair. So I was a frail bird. But in a sense, I was like reborn. I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn how to touch things.
I strongly feel that Jamie's going to go ahead and have a wonderful life. Yeah.
People face struggles differently, but even though there are tragedies, we can bring ourselves up from it.
I was diagnosed when I was 16. I had the meningitis with the septicemia on top of that, which is sort of like a blood poisoning. I just woke up with this high fever and all these like little purple spots started to come like all over me, and I was really freaked out by that.
It's so quick that you're in a fog, knowing that your child could die within hours.
All this talk about girls are too skinny, girls are too fat, weight loss shows. She said to me, I want to be a part of this to show that you can be beautiful with scars on your legs, and that's what we're going to try and get across this afternoon.
It's something that I don't want anybody else to have to go through just because it's been really hard on me and my family. It's so important to get like the vaccine for this.
Not supposed to be smiling.
Even though I do have like scars and everything, it's a part of who I am, but it doesn't really define me. It was really great for my confidence, and it made me feel really beautiful, so it was nice.
This morning we have little Mateo, who's 9 months old. It's really good to have a young baby Mateo's age in this series.
Donc, vous y avez donné une chance de vivre. Si vous aviez attendu la nuit, il serait mort à la maison, là.
Puis on pense toujours que ces choses-là peuvent arriver juste aux autres. Puis quand ça nous arrive, on réalise l'importance de faire vacciner nos enfants pour les protéger contre la méningite, surtout quand on sait que la conséquence la plus grave, c'est la mort.
We've got to get these 3 messages across with this series. So important. Recognise the symptoms, act quickly and decisively, and check with your doctor as to whether your child's vaccinations are up to date. This was the last shoot of the whole series. I've learned that being a photographer for 30 years culminates in something like this, and I think I brought 30 years of experience to make this series really special. It's certainly been an interesting journey because I didn't know all of these amazing stories that we've heard. I didn't know how courageous these families actually are and how special they are. To just be a part of their lives and to do something important for them is very moving for me.